Hello? Can you see the flowers? Flowers. Oh, there it is. These are still alive and kicking after like 2 weeks. Star of the show right there. Okay. Cancer. I was like, all of a sudden, who is this reading for? It's for Cancer. We're going to lead with the Godfather Tarot today. My sister just finished the trilogy as well. And she, as I, have now been ruined from all other movies because The Godfather is so classy and mature, and it's beautiful. The soundtrack is beautiful. The sights are beautiful. Like, you can't beat The Godfather. I'm sorry, but that's kind of like, that's a given. So, I'm so glad I got this deck. We're going to lead with this. There you go. Okay. Cancer. Okay. Still a little bit sick, so I'm not 100% on my game right now. I am trying. I've missed like a week of work. I have to go back to work, and like I don't even know how I'm even gonna be able to function. I haven't stood up for like more than 5 minutes in the last 2 weeks. Oh. All the strength is within you. That is it. Okay. Okay, so Virgo and Scorpio just showed up. Like somebody's making plans. Okay, anything else? Okay, I was wondering, I'm like, yo, this reading, it kind of seems like, is like somebody planning a move. And now I'm hearing 50 cents, you can find me in the club, pocket full of, mama, I got what you need if you need to feel a buzz. I'm into having sex, I'm into making love. What? Oh my gosh, that 50 Cent song was in my head a couple of days ago. I was like, up in the club. What? It's like you kind of look around like, who's playing that song for me right now? Okay, you can find me in the club. Okay. Yo, what? Fully focused, man. My money on my mind. Shorty, sexy. She say, she feeling my style. She feeling my flow. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of getting it. It seems like somebody's hiding. Okay, and I think this is the part where Vito has to go back to Sicily. No, that's old Vito. Yeah, so he's in Sicily no matter what. Old Vito, no, that's not Vito. Yeah, that's Vito. Vito doesn't die in Sicily, does he? I mean, with the oranges in the background. Now I'm all confused because now I'm thinking about Mikey. Mikey dies in Sicily. Vito. He just has a heart attack in the tomato trees. That's what it is. Who's there again with him? Anthony or something? He's grabbing his chest. That's the tomato, the hermit. And like, you know what's funny is that we have death here as well. Transformation, change, new beginnings, analysis, and solitude. So it's like somebody is making a plan. Two of Wands. And this plan has like serious potential to be very stable. Okay, King of Coins. So King of Pentacles. And a King of Pentacles makes good judgment. Okay, that's the whole part of being a King of Pentacles, is that you make good decisions about your money and you let your money grow. Okay, so I don't know if this is about prosperity, like if this is about growing a company, but there is like huge potential for success. Seven of Pentacles. It's one of those things that, like gunfire, you have to learn how to aim. You have to learn how to shoot a gun, just like you have to learn how to make money. Right? It's a skill. It becomes a skill. And I believe that somebody's pretty good at it. So the world is transforming their life. They're getting ready for transformation. It's like maybe money is coming in. And then, you know what I was thinking too the other day? I think it was last night. I think this actually might have been in my dreams. Somebody was like, why don't you just buy a business? And I looked at them like, are you fucking crazy? Like, why would I just buy a business? Like, that's my business then. Like, I am in control of the entire thing. Like, if I don't, like, as if I wanted to, like, buy a Wendy's or something, or, like, an A&W, and I was like, why the fuck would I want to do that? Like, because when you think about it, any good owner would be there in their business growing it, right? Like, you have to be a part of your business. You can't just buy something and let anybody own it, right? Like, I once worked for this restaurant, and it took this new owner so far. She had it for 7 years. The previous owner only had it for 5 years. But what that previous owner did in 5 years, she had to work every day to reverse, because he was a man who came in and bought a business and let hourly rate employees run it while he sat on his yacht in some fucking island. Right? So it's like there are people who can see potential in something and they buy it, but they give absolutely like no commitment to it at all. They do absolutely no work to it. They just expect the money to bring in income. They just expect the business to bring in income because that's what it technically does. But it doesn't mean that it's bringing in the wealth that the company could bring in if the owner was actually doing something for the company, right? So it's like, you have to think about like, the value of something. And just because you have money, or maybe you're going to get money, right? Maybe money's coming and you're like, I want to invest in something, right? And now I'm getting Call of the Wild, where he gets all that gold and then he's talking to Buck and he's like, I think I'm going to buy a railroad. And then he dies. Because sometimes people think that when they get money, they have to invest it, right? And I think that sometimes you end up investing in it in the wrong thing, and then you lose it, right? Like, I once knew a chick whose dad died, so she got like 20 grand or something like that from his insurance money, and she went out and bought a brand new truck. And just driving it off the lot right then and there, that truck depreciated like 10 grand. And I don't even think she had the truck for that long. And I thought, like, you just wasted 20 grand. Like, when you could have probably bought a previously owned truck and then kept half your inheritance for as that truck broke down and you could fix it. Right? Like, there's a smart way to do things, and then there's a dumb, I want to get rich fast way of doing things. And if you want to try to get rich fast, then that, unfortunately, brings in a lot of schemes, because nobody gets rich fast. And if they do, there's something wrong with the way they're bringing in money. Okay? But look at this last card. is the Queen of Cups. So I'm like, the Queen of Cups with the King of Coins. That's Kay. Okay, Kay took care of the family. That would be Michael's wife. So maybe okay, I'm like really trying to understand how this reading is coming into play here. I'm going to see what this is like broken down by the pot tarot. If it decides to give me any cards. Let's see. Queen of Joints, Temperance. Okay, so calming down the fire. I think somebody has made a lot of effort to try to change their life. And I think for once, somebody is on the right track. Because the thing is that you could have burned through a lot, right? Being unbalanced, right? Not really knowing when 420 hits that you're not just supposed to shove everything into your mouth. You're kind of supposed to like leave food for the whole day, right? So it's almost like maybe somebody is kind of like burnt out, or they're used to being burnt out when it comes to money. And now they're like, I'm not going to do this. It's almost like invest. They plan to change their life with this. Okay? I would say so. Justice just greeted the reading, and that's another sign, right? Now we've got Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio and Sagittarius with the Four of Wands. So, like, I mean, if you've been really trying to change your life, something is going to happen, okay? You're going to be successful with this change, whatever plans it is that you're making, okay? And from the looks of it, it's like, I think maybe you're trying something new, okay? So this is the way that I see this is almost like you've got all these, you've decided to grow all these different strains, okay? All these different plants, but now it's time to sell it, okay? So now it's time to put the theory into action. And that's where people are like, okay, you know, it's all fine and dandy when we're planning it, but do you realize that like we actually have to do it? Like this is now I'm getting the next 3 days with the Crow guy, something Crow, his last name is. Who else is in that movie? She is from Knocked Up. She plays the psycho girl. Beth, I think her name is. Anyways, he I don't know if you've seen that movie The Next 3 Days. Dennis Crow? Is that his name? Dennis? That doesn't sound right. No, I'm thinking of Dennis Quaid. Russell Crowe. That's what it is. He plans to like rob a bank. And he's sitting out of the bank, and then he sees the security guard, and he fucking pulls away. He can't do it. And then there's a part where he's in the jail, and he's testing a bump key to see if he can control the elevators. And then once he does it, he goes outside and he throws up. Because sometimes we can plan and plan and plan, but it doesn't mean it's going to go the exact way that we planned it. Okay, very rarely do things actually work out the exact way they're planned, okay, which is why plans, they're good to have an itinerary, but always know that the rain comes in with no warning, okay? So it's like you're successful with this change. And I don't know what the plan is. Like, why are you making plans to change? Yeah, you need to move. There's Cancer right there. Dun 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 dun, the Chariot, right? And it's like hotboxing a car. Like, sure, yeah, okay, you can hotbox a van, but eventually you have to leave the parking spot. Okay, eventually you have to go. You can't just stay there forever. Okay, you're gonna get caught if you stay there forever. You have to keep it moving. Okay, and look at how cute this is. The Page of Joints. So this is, look how unique and beautiful that joint is rolled, right? Plus with a book of matches, like who uses matches these days? A page does, right? Trying to figure out every way that they can light a joint and any way that they can roll a joint and make it look like their own. Anything they can do to make something look uniquely theirs. So it's almost like if you are buying a business or if you are an entrepreneur and you're about to take your dive in the entrepreneur world, right? Where it's like, I almost see like an Etsy page or you're going to be selling something. You know, please realize that these things start very slow. Okay? And they start slow for a reason. So then the more effort you put into it is how you get out of it, right? So it's like, it's almost like time shows you that it moves slow for the things that are worth growing. Right? So with this page, like they took the time to sit there and roll this perfectly. So of course they want to smoke it at the perfect time, right? So it's like you've designed this change to happen at the perfect time because you're the uniquely wrapped joint. Okay? You know that in life it's all about movement. Right? It's all about moving. It's all about going places. And I'm not talking about physically moving and getting your shit and packing your shit up. I'm talking about change, evolution, right? Changing what you are and growing and expanding, right? And not staying the same, changing your room around, changing your life around. That's the spice of life. If you don't do those types of things for yourself to show how much you appreciate yourself, if you just like things kind of set in stone, it's like maybe open up your mind to a little bit more creative bliss, a little bit more movement, a little bit more river rafting, right? Allow your creativity to flow and put money into what you want to make successful. Okay? And the thing is it doesn't matter how many companies are out there doing it. Why does that matter? Okay? Competition out there is awful. Okay? It's dog eat dog as of right now when it comes to trying to start a business. And they also say that you've got to give yourself at least a year starting a business. You know, you've got to have the funds to keep your business going for at least a year, if not a year to 3, right? Because you've got to build that clientele up. You've got to build that rapport up. You've got to build that customer service up. You have to build, right? It's not easy to do that. And then, it's when you watch somebody build off somebody else, it's bullshit because then they go straight to the top. But that doesn't mean that person's supposed to go straight to the top, right? Maybe they were supposed to take as many steps as you did, but they got bumped right to the top, which means that they're most likely going to scale off pretty quickly. Whereas you're probably going to keep it going. Because when a business takes off that quickly, you gotta handle the demand. And if you don't have that demand, right, you're just expecting the money to come in, then that business is also going to flop because it's not just about money. Okay? So, what's that sticking out right there? Yes, you have to know when it's time to pick the bud. Okay? You have to know when it's time to make the right moves. And that's why I don't know if this Queen of Cups is like you stepping into your Queen of Cups and appreciating what you do a little bit more, and it's almost like appreciating yourself, okay, and walking yourself down this road and being empathetic towards yourself and knowing that not everything kicks off right away and that people can be really, really hard on themselves, especially when it comes to money and it comes to how bad they want to change and how bad they want success. What you have to realize is that you have everything you need to roll a joint. It's just, you have to start it. And starting it, okay, is hard. That's the first leap. Okay, and that's the fool's journey, is you really don't know if it's going to work out or not. Okay, you can have a whole whack of seeds and not a single one of those seeds takes off. Not a single one grows. But it's because you've got to learn something. Everything that you do in life comes with these little lessons. And we think to ourselves, we don't need another lesson right now. But you do. As soon as you say you don't need a lesson, it's probably when you do. And you kind of got to treat yourself as like, this is all elementary school, okay? The things that you've got to learn as an adult, you've got to learn now because you simply didn't learn it back then. Okay? I can still hear 50 Cent, you can find me in the club. Maybe you're going to meet this person in a club. Ace of Buds. Ace of Pentacles. Like, I really feel like something, I don't know, if you're going to meet somebody, there's Judgment, King of Bongs, 10 of Joints. And look at this with the 6 of Cups, okay, and Knight of Buds. So it's like, I really feel like somebody comes into the equation that loves what you do. They love the creative aspect of whatever it is you're doing. And it's like you could, whoa, oh, look at this. Look what was right underneath the Ace of Buds, the Ace of Bongs, and then the Sun, okay, and the Empress. So I would say somebody is ready, okay? The weed has dried and it can be picked now, okay? It's just sometimes we find it really hard to get ourselves moving, okay? We find it really hard to get off the couch. And that's where it's like, if you want to change your life, okay, you're the one that has to make all the steps to do it. Okay, you're the one that has to decide what you're going to do and then actually do it. Okay, so that's why it's like it's easy to have an idea and make the plans. Okay, what's hard to do is to excavate the plan. That doesn't sound right. But anyways, you know what I mean. It's one thing to plan it. It's another thing to actually put it into motion and do it. Right? And I can only imagine how much stress that comes along with. Any new job you start, that's stress. Any new project you start, that's stress. Any new people you add to your team, that's stress. Right? It's a lot of stress. And that's why I think that the world is kind of just like, you know what? This is a really good opportunity for you. And the sun is out, which means the weed is going to grow, which means whatever it is that you're doing, the world kind of is just kind of saying like, yo, just balance yourself out a little bit, okay? And, you know, you can't be a weed dealer and be sitting on your couch all day, okay? You kind of have to put a little bit more effort into something. So that's I think maybe that's what I'm getting, is like once you excavate this plan, that's the only word that I can use for some reason. I don't think it's right, but as soon as you set this plan into motion, okay, things are going to change. And I think maybe that's what somebody's been a little bit scared of. Like, you know how many YouTube channels I've started? Oh my God. I think this is my 3rd one, if not 4th. Every time I go and do my very first reading, I'm always nervous. I'm always, oh my gosh, okay, this is it. We're going to turn the camera on. This is a whole new journey. And then it just comes out. It's like, I feel like sometimes I put more constructive criticism over top of everything I'm about to do just to make sure I do it properly. But little do I know that I'm already doing it properly, right? There is no perfect plan. That's why it's like you have to be careful with making plans, and that you're not just writing everything down and never doing anything, right? You got to be weary of the talkers versus the walkers. Okay? Because the talkers, yeah, they're talking a lot because they ain't walking. Right? Walkers aren't talking a whole lot because they're walking and they get winded. Okay? Having to speak the whole time that they're doing something. So they just tend not to. Right? So whatever this transformation is, whatever, like, it's almost like I see that this King of Coins wants to make an investment. And that's kind of how maybe a little bit of this reading can change as well, is that somebody might be looking to invest in you or in your company. And you keep making plans. And the thing is how to move this company forward. But once this person comes in, you're going to have to need those plans of like, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What are you planning on doing with this? Right? Somebody might want to know. Okay? You might have something going on and they're like, yo, if your demand goes sky high, what are you planning to do about it? Are you going to shut doors? Are you going to hire some staff? Are you going to open up your delivery service? Like, what is it that you're going to do? Right? Because as soon as these doors open, you never know how it's going to go, especially if you've been waiting. Right? So the world is kind of like, maybe that's why Kay's coming in. You know, like Mikey always goes back to Kay. That's the thing. Even though he lies to her constantly about what the fuck's going on. But it's like Kay's always there as his gravity. Like he, you know, even after what's-her-face dies in Sicily from that car bomb. I can never pronounce her name properly. Right? After she dies and then Michael comes home, and he just gravitates naturally towards Kay. Sure, yeah, it takes a year, but he goes back anyways because he sees Kay as his second chance. She's not married, she's still single, she's still out there living her life, and he's like, okay, we need to do this, right? So it's like somebody might just keep coming back to you and coming back to you and coming back to you. They keep coming back to your page, they keep coming back to your YouTube, they keep coming back to your store, and you're like, what is this person doing? And it's like, well, because they have an investment opportunity. They just don't know if you're ready for it, maybe. And that's why it's like this plan making isn't really working for them as much as they have to execute the plan. They have to execute the plan. You can find me in the club. Oh my God, 50. What is happening? Are you working in a nightclub? I don't understand. Are you in a nightclub right now? I don't understand. Okay. Anything else? Does the Godfather, am I on the right track here with this reading? King of Wands. Oof. Headed towards a holiday. Well, you know what? Honestly, if you've been working your ass off trying to get something to go somewhere, then I should hope that if something really cool happens for you, that you take some time out. You know what I mean? And just enjoy the fruits of your labor. Oh, there's the Ace of Cups again. Ace of Bongs, Ace of Cups. New beginning, right? The baby, new beginning. The Hanged Man and a Visitor. See? Yo, I think this is what I'm talking about. It's like you're waiting for this person. Okay? It's like someone is waiting for you to make this offer to them. And this offer is everything. This offer is what they need to finally like break free from the reins that are holding them down. Right? It's like when people work hard, that work shows on the outside, right? And if someone's watching you, or if you're watching somebody and you're about to make an investment in somebody, the world is like, this person's waiting for you. They're like waiting for the call. They want this new beginning. So maybe they're willing to change the company around a bit. I actually once knew this guy who was a millionaire. I didn't even know he was. I would just hang out with him because he was so nice. And he was an older man too. He's like, Whitney, do you know what I do? And I'm like, I fucking no idea. I just love hanging out with you. I don't really care what you do. And he mines for this very rare fossil that is only found in this area. And he started this motorcycle parts shop online. And while mining for these fossils, he sold this online company to another man and was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. Please take care of my company. And like I said, he was a millionaire. So clearly he was doing something right with this fucking parts source thing online. And in 5 years, this man ran his company into the ground. I'm talking, they were making less than nothing. So when Gail bought it back, he bought the company back for like 10% of what he sold it. Okay, so this guy lost everything, like the middleman, okay, lost everything. Gail didn't lose anything. He bought it back and now is in the process of turning it back to what it was before. So he already knew, he was like, this is going to take me years to get this company back where it needs to be because of what this fucking idiot did. And I'm like, well, good for you for buying it back again. Like, you didn't have to buy it back. Like, he could have just let the company go in the drain. He's clearly doing something else that's way more productive with his time. But he bought it back anyways to put the life back into it. So maybe you're thinking of something like that. Maybe you sold something off and now you want to get it back again. I am running out of time, I just realized. So we're going to have to end this reading, which is amazing because the readings always have to end at some point. So thanks for watching. I am Moonshine. This was a great reading. I hope you take that chance and take that investment, or I hope that investment comes to you, whatever it is. Thanks for watching. I am Moonshine, coming back to life each day. Thanks for being here. Peace out.